Copy.
Yeah, we're in my Facebook group.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I don't know if we're live yet. I see a live button over here, but I can't see anything going on in my group. So give me just a second. I'm going to check it out. Oh, there I see us. Woohoo! Welcome. I'm so excited to be here with an amazing, beautiful soul, Danuka. And I wanted to introduce her here today because she has been such an inspiration in my experience. And I've learned a lot in the process of working with her. So I just wanted to, introduce her here to everyone. And, as of the title right now, Danuka, I don't know if you know what's going on in my group. I'll tell you a little bit, but I've changed the name so many times. Like nothing has aligned with me yet. So right now it's called the Align Abundance Accelerator. That is not right, but it's an evolving process. So anyway, so here we are with Danuka, and I just wanted to introduce her. Danuka, would you share with us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then how we connected?
Sure. Oh my gosh, I'm confused about who I am. No, I'm kidding. Identity crisis plus plus. No, I am, I would say, a jack of all trades right now, and a master of none. But my primary, I guess, career job is a preschool. I own a preschool. I've had it for 15 years. So early childhood education is my love. Children are my love, as are dogs, but children. And it took me into this, into a different field of going into parenting. So eventually I ended up getting certified with Dr. Shefali in conscious parenting, which then gave me such a good foundation for what was happening with my children in my preschool, right, in the younger years. But recognizing that it starts with the adults who are then caring for these young children is what creates these young children to be who they are and kind of mold them into what we as the adult want them to be. So this is where conscious parenting comes into play in my life. So it's a conscious parenting mixed with the early childhood development, mixed with compassionate inquiry by Dr. Gabor Mate, mixed with some energy healing as well. So I do some emotion code, body code, energy healing, which releases trapped emotions, which can cause chronic illness.
Yeah, you've through the process of our I don't know how many years has it been since we've known each other? Has it been 4?
I would say probably 3 or 4. It was 2019, wasn't it, I think.
Right. Yeah. So wow. Yeah. So I don't know if your screen is I don't know if your screen is frozen. My screen just froze. That happens with all kinds of energy going on.
As you and I know.
We do know. But I know that the process for you, like you've brought in so many and the experiences that I've had. I remember when I showed up on one of your lives for your emotion code. And remember you released a bunch of like ancestral patterns or what generational patterns. Yeah. So that was really fun for me. And you got me down to like, I don't know, I think I was at like a 50% or something, and you switched me up to like 80 or I don't know.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. But I love what you do, and I love your energy. You're such a beautiful soul, and you have this great vision for what you want to create and what you want to bring to the world, around, elevating the child and their space to be who they are. And
wow, I need to write that down.
Yeah, and I'm recording it, so you get the recording.
Elevating the child. See, this is why you're so brilliant for me, because you bring out and you put into words what I need to put out in my book.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's so true though. You're elevating the child and bringing this space for them to actually be authentic, starting at a young age, and providing that safe space and helping adults, lean into that. And I really think that that's especially coming from this teacher background myself, I think that was one of the things that drew us together, if I'm not remembering. But knowing how that's going to affect the students in the education in their own life and how it's going to affect them later on. It's such a powerful thing that you're doing. So I give you lots of kudos for that. And a lot of it, like you said, is they need the parents need that guidance to really support their children, especially with what's going on. I know you and I had talked a lot about social media being a factor and a lot of things going on. So I really appreciate that you are doing your work. So thank you for that. Yeah. So do you want to tell everyone a little bit about what we did together? And then, I can't wait to kind of share a little bit more behind that, but you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, totally. I have so much to say, actually. So I'm going to take the floor from here, Justine.
Okay, I'm gonna enjoy it.
No, kidding. So what happened was I needed to really focus in on my signature program, because as you know, when you're doing your own work, I had Dr. Shefali, I had Dr. Gabor Mate, I had Joe Dispenza, I had all these courses, Eckhart Tolle, I was getting so many trainings and so much knowledge. I was so saturated that I didn't know how to put anything down on paper, right? And so this is where I was like, okay, I need you to just hone in on what I'm saying. So just like you just were able to put into words what I do and put it into one sentence, which was kind of that, what do you call it, the motto almost of what my work is. That's where I needed your help, and that's exactly what you did. So every time I would talk, you would say something and you would question me. And we sat down and we worked. I think the first 3 hours we sat and we worked. It was really focused work, and all of a sudden at the 3-hour mark, I said to you, Justine, I am feeling so nauseous. I need to go get a bucket. I need to throw up.
Remember?
It was intense. But this was something that you and I both knew was an energetic thing, because I was up leveling. It really wasn't up leveling because everything was coming out. We got so much done. The whole thing was just done in one night, even through the nausea. I had the worst headache. And you were able to guide me through, okay, we're going to breathe, we're going to pause, we're just going to pause. But you knew exactly how to take me through that, right? And it was like, okay, we're going to take a few breaths and we're going to pause for a minute and we'll do a meditation. So then we did the meditation, we did all of that and got back to it again. And it was done. And it felt so good, right? It was that alignment again. There was an alignment with you, me, and the program and the signature program.
Yeah.
You were just able to draw it out of me. I was so saturated.
Yeah. I loved our work together. It was so much fun. I remember getting on at the beginning, like our first call before we even jumped on, because we did I think we did a call first to kind of like get some ideas, or maybe it was just like we showed up. I don't remember.
Yeah.
We had one or the other, but I remember you showing me your house. Do you remember what that was like?
Yes.
Still probably the same. Poster paper, all like on all walls with stickies and like color codes and like all these things.
Yes.
You're I don't know what to do with this.
Right. I mean, here's my board right now, my whiteboard, which is not so bad. I mean, that's pretty good. I just get ideas of white.
Right.
Yes. My whole room was covered with flip chart paper.
Yes.
That I would stick on the walls all over. You should see my mirror right now in my bath. While I'm brushing my teeth or doing my hair, I just write all that. I have a huge, the whole wall is a mirror. So
I love it.
My dry erase is always with me, because I'm writing on a mirror or a whiteboard or a flip chart somewhere. Right. But anyway, that's exactly how it started. Yeah.
It was, I think that was when I did when I walked through the questions with you, I was like trying to figure out, is this a good fit? And we did this whole, the questions really helped me get clarity about what it is that you needed and really, where you were in the process. And that to me, was one of the best experiences, is just going through those questions, really, even I feel like we got so clear. I got really clear out with those questions just to take the next step even.
Right. And I think that's what really attracted me to you as well, was that you genuinely, sincerely wanted to know. So you were curious, you were really curious about me,
Yeah.
but me and my work, to be able to um, kind of marry the two, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't cookie cutter. It wasn't, it was totally what Danuka needs right now.
Yeah.
Is you were so present in that moment and you would listen. It was always, okay, so what you're trying to tell me is, I noticed that you would really, but then sometimes I would get stuck with my answers because you're asking really relevant questions that I hadn't thought about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I really appreciate that insight because, that really is how I work with people. Is very like, there's this very inquisitive, intuitive piece that I work that I use when I'm working with other people. And so it's really important to me that I take that time to get to know, you know, the people that I'm, wanting to work with so I can support them the best way. And
I want to
so,
give you another example. Actually, was when I think we had decided that, okay, we're going to work on this. Let's hone in and let's get the details right here. So we went through the outline. So the next meeting was going to be this, whatever we had talked about. But I came into the call and I was frustrated. I was annoyed about something. I was dealing with whatever it was, and I said, "But Justine, this is where I am," and this, and I was just having a go. And you said, "Okay, all right, so let's go to this." And you took me on to a completely different tangent because that was where I was in that moment, and you
yeah,
knew that that's what needed to be worked on first before we could get back to where our intention was before. So you
yeah,
were able to really meet my need at that moment.
yeah. And I loved our work together. I mean, it's so much fun to, show up and be able to work with you on that level and be able to like support you where you are. Because you can't go any further unless you get clarity on the piece that you're stuck on, right? So there's that whole process of bringing forth what needs to come forth so you can move the energy in the direction that you're headed, right? Because we all get stuck. We all have, those moments. And it's really hard, even for me. I remember when I was trying to put my program together, I was like, I don't know how I do what I do. I just do that, you know? So it does take somebody else to kind of see, and mirror back what it is you do. And so, the process of working with you over the years, because I know it just wasn't the signature program. We did that, the programs that Prophet really, we put that together. We did that. That was at the very beginning stages. And I know that we worked together later on a couple other times. And, we always end up coming back together. Like you said, this is perfect timing. I didn't have time before yesterday really to show up
Right.
because you were so immersed in your preschool, but for some reason we always end up coming back together, and I feel there's some sort of energetic, connection.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I know I just reached out to you yesterday and you're like, okay, I can do it
Yeah,
tomorrow. And I was
that's
like,
really
okay,
cool.
that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, I
So
know.
I love
It
that.
feels good to have that space to do that now.
Yeah, that's great. Um, so what would you say, like, what would you say to women who are like starting their coaching journey, of like what really is one of the best steps that they can do for themselves to head in the direction that they want to go? What would you say?
I think I really think first and foremost is know in your gut, in yourself, that this is what you want to do, right? That this is
Mhm.
what brings you joy. Then know that getting the support is crucial.
Yeah.
Getting, a lot of the time we were, well, no, I got it. I know what to do. I got it. But I think this is why it was different working with you and not in a group setting where it's so structured, right?
Mhm.
Is that it's customized.
Yeah.
And where I needed to go was where you would take me. And my vision may have been very different to someone else. So
Hmm.
you were able to guide me where I needed to go. I never felt pressure. I never felt stressed. I never felt, oh my gosh, now I have to get on another call. And with some, I have been in that space.
Right.
But with you, it was almost like, oh, at last, it just seems off, right? I could take a breath, and it was like you would take care of me. It was my safe space to even be upset and angry, and
Oh,
you had to
yeah.
deal with my moods sometimes, and it was like, but you knew how to navigate that.
Right.
So it was that comfort with a challenge, with getting out of my comfort zone,
Mm,
where I could easily have stayed, but you took me there. And having that guidance, I think for any coach, because you've been through it as well,
right.
you can support that. And I think it's really important. If you really want to scale, if you are really serious about it, then get the help, invest in yourself. Like Kyle Cease will say, be a Helen C, where you're not investing in coach, you're not, or Prada. I mean, and those things, and you're not investing in the little things that are not going to give you a return. You are the only person who will give you a return. And so
Yeah.
investing in yourself to get that help is the most crucial investment.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was when and we met in a group. We met joining we met in a program for a year-long program, to really, elevate ourselves, but also create a business. And so in that process, it is really important to um, have multiple perspectives. That's the other thing I would say, because when we're so focused on one, and I know we just, before we even got on this live, we had that conversation about, one method may not be in alignment, or there may be multiple things that you need to bring into your space to like actually move the energy and get the clarity really that you need. And so one of the things I think, and I'm going to toot my horn a little bit, one of the things that I really feel empowered about the programs at Profit is that the clarity that I help women get is so infinitesimal. I mean, like, it's so different from the beginning hour to the last hour, and that's a 4-hour session.
Yeah.
So I think that, I mean, if you want to talk a little bit about that, how you felt in that process, because I know afterwards there's like this, oh my gosh, and that, and then there's like, there's kind of that feeling. So
Right. I
yeah,
really think that the clarity brings you to confidence. And when you are presenting, and when you are a coach yourself, coaching others, you really need to feel confident in what you're talking about. And when you're not, it shows. It comes through. You don't market it. You don't want to sell it. There's this energy that just comes. But once you have that clarity and you're so certain about what you're selling, this confidence and this, I'm not holding back. I'm doing this. It comes from a very different space, right?
right.
And it doesn't feel like marketing. It's really, I want to help you. Let me help you, please. I know
And I can, right? Look at what I can do. Look at everything I have for you. I know I can do it. And that's what I feel is the total difference between hour 1 and hour 4.
Yes, and that's why, I mean, as we're talking, and this is why I said at the beginning of your first question was, what is the advice you would give a new coach? That feeling, as we were just talking about confidence and clarity, my gut, my inside, my solar plexus, all, it's just turning. It's like this excitement is there, and feel that energy and know that, oh my gosh, you can be there without the uncertainty.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm wondering if I want to touch back with you in a couple weeks, even because I'm wondering if this call is going to change a few things for you, because I know that every time we connect, something pivots for you. There is some change. I remember last time we first talked, you ended up buying a building. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You ended up buying the building for your preschool, and it was like really stressful, but you're like, no, I'm gonna do this. Like, this is, and you did. And it was just one thing, I mean, I remember you were really stuck with that. And then all of a sudden we connected and you're like, nope, I'm moving the energy. We're
Yeah.
just going to do it.
Yeah.
And so I would love to touch back with you in a couple weeks to kind of see, if anything. I know you just got your preschool the way you love it, because you got to design the space now that you own the building, and you hired the people that really can handle your vision and create the vision for you. And so that's amazing. And I'm so happy for you, because I know you said that was those lasting since June.
Yeah, before that, actually, yeah. So it's, like you said, you so kindly said, I am a beautiful soul. But to be honest, it's everyone around me as well who is in alignment with me that creates that, right? So we align, like even you and I aligning is because we're in the right vibration for each other.
Yeah.
So it's everyone else's beautiful souls that just help us be kind of one in the universe, if you think about it.
Yeah, the divine of one. Yeah, I love that. And I appreciate that. And I'm so, you emanate that, and you actually are like the epitome of that, because what you bring into the people in your space who are doing that. And I think that that's a really important thing for people to consider, like, who is going to be that support system vibrationally, who's going to be there for you and create that space so you can be that beautiful soul that you want to be, right? Because otherwise we end up, and I know that I've had, even with my daughter yesterday, I was like, oh my God, I have to go to my bedroom. I love you, but I gotta, you know what I mean? So for me, I really appreciate you saying that, but I do agree with that. I think it's that we're all connected, and if we're all connected and we're all working together to create a safe space and a beautiful space for people around us, we're gonna, be with the people who we're meant to be with.
Exactly. And this is why I have amazing women, a team that is just so aligned and just beautiful, supportive in every way. We all, it's just a great team, great community. And this is where you choose your tribe.
Yeah.
And when you do your work, you end up aligning and magnetizing those who
Yeah.
should be around you. So if people are aligned with you, then magnetically, I was just reading on my mirror. Remember, I told you about my mirror. I was just reading one of the quotes today as I was brushing my teeth, and I was like, when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Oh,
Someone really smart and wise said that. And I had written it down, and it's true. I really do
yeah.
believe. Like, when I'm ready, every single time you have appeared for me, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
So let's do a touchback in a couple weeks.
Let's do it.
I would love to have you back on. One of the things I'm doing in my group, so if you I know you've been really immersed in your school, which is amazing. What I'm doing in this group here is I'm doing a featured member of the week. So where a member can actually, I'm doing an interview every week, and then with the women, and it's starting October 1st. And in that week, they have the whole week to show up, promote, practice, do live videos. So it's like their group for a week. And I'm doing that because I really, number one, want to open up the space, because originally my vision was that I have this very interactive, collaborative space. And I kind of moved away from that, as I hired different coaches, because their structure and their program, and you could tell it was out of alignment, right? Because the energy was flat in my group, and I was just like, there's something wrong. This isn't what I imagined. This doesn't work for me. And so I I'm revamping, reimagining my space. And so this is one of the things that, we're doing in here. So if you want to do it, and it's no fee, like this year it's no fee, but after that, I'm hoping that it will change the dynamics. I'm actually going to start running ads to the group and like really bring in this high vibrational energy, because that's what I want to create. So I'm so glad that you were able to show up today and be a part of like the opening space of this new realm and actually talk about the programs for profit. I want to give a little plug for the programs for profit before we go, because I know that you were at the very beginning phases that when I started it, but eventually I rolled it out, and with all of the things that I'm including, and I'm going to post the link to the website that shows everything that people get when they work with me. And it's a little bit more extensive than what we did. We did the program, but it comes with a lot more pieces now. And so it originally ended up being about $3,500. And with everything a little closer to 4,000, but it was really good at 3,500. But I'm opening it up this week only for $2,000, which is like 4 hours, $2,000 signature program, your program that you walk away with, along with all the other pieces like the irresistible offer, the pricing, all of the other pieces that I'm gonna list below in the website. And it closes on Friday. So I wanted to let people know Friday at 9 p.m. I'm gonna lock the doors at the 2K offer because it really has so much value and everybody is gonna get so much from this. And so I wanted to just, invite you in, share a little bit about our experience working together, share about the programs that profit, and then, have everybody check the feed below, look at that website. It's something that I've been putting together for years. I mean, I don't know if you know how many coaches I've hired, but coach after coach after coach after coach. And really, this is my signature piece that is really going to propel and elevate people to actually scale their business, right? Because it's so heartbreaking to watch the women that I've come across, the women that I've worked with struggle and be an ache because they can't live their purpose, because they can't impact the people they want. So for me, this is really, I want to elevate those women. I want us to move this needle forward.
And I feel like if I were to give it in a monetary terms or quantitative terms, you'll cover that cost in one client.
Yeah.
Less than one client. I would cover it in less than one client.
And less than one client, yeah. Because we're going to position it and package it so it really is this beautiful program that can actually deliver. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of programs that I invested in anyways missed that piece, right? They helped you develop your offer, they helped you get clarity around your niche, but they didn't help you develop a program that actually delivers, right? So then you kind of spin the wheels trying to put all the pieces together, ensuring that it delivers. And one of my geniuses, I'll say, is being a teacher, we know where there's gaps, right? We can see the gaps and we know how to either fill them, bridge them, or elaborate so it gets all of the pieces people need to actually get that next level of transformation, that outcome that they're looking for. So I think that's one of my zones of genius, right? Is just having that awareness of, okay, if we go from here to there, they're going to miss this piece. So we need to bridge this gap. I don't know if you remember me saying that, but I know that that's one of the pieces that I did, to often find where there's missing pieces and we plug that in.
Yes. And that's what I meant when I said you would ask really relevant questions that I hadn't thought about, because I'm thinking, well, A to B.
Right.
But you're seeing that gap and you're like, well, no, but I don't understand that. So explain it to me like I don't get it, like you're coaching. I'm like,
right.
So yeah.
And the other thing I remember with you is I remember that first lesson, you had packed it so full. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And we had to really unpack it and elaborate. And that one lesson was really like a full month. So you're like, oh, I remember that. That was really one of the pieces that was really eye-opening, because I know that if I was to go through your program and we did that one lesson in a week, I'd be like,
Yeah. I was everybody. I wanted to give you everything,
right?
But there's no return, if you're overloading something. And you did show me that, no, this is a whole month of work.
Yeah. I just loved our work together. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you taking your time, and I can't wait to check back in with you in a couple of weeks and get you back in here and I want to inspire people to show up and be present for themselves too. And that's really what, you emanate that. So thank you. All right. I'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. And I'll see you later today or on Thursday on the live call. Bye.
Bye.